What's up, everybody? Trinity here. Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. I hope you're all having a very good day today. Here we are on Thursday. It is the day that the Eternals is getting ready to premiere at the movie theater. Thursday evening. Is everybody hyped up? Are you ready? Are you ready to see this movie? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you have tickets to go see it already? I got tickets for me and my kids to go see it. Although, all things considered, I'm not sure. Maybe I should have went and proof watched this movie first. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's really hard to say. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the Eternals down in the comments below. I don't know. I'm kind of just ready to see it. Like hype. I don't know. They've been doing a lot of trailers, little snippets, and everything, dropping a lot of stuff here on YouTube, and I don't know. I guess they're trying to build up excitement for it. It seems like there's been a lot of negative critic reviews, people not liking it, and things like that. Apparently, there's other Marvel nerds out there that have expressed their opinions about this film, and some people are really enjoying it. I guess it just kind of depends on where you stand, what you like. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Again, are you hyped for it? Are you waiting for it? I've got my tickets. We're gonna go see it tonight. And the funny thing is, like, this movie, like, it seems like sometimes it would be an earlier showing, but this movie is like long enough. There's only like one showing that's kind of like early enough, but evening enough at the same time. I'm like, oh man, like let's go. It's cutting into what is my wind down, getting ready to go to bedtime. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be the long haul. Gonna be there with the kids. So I don't know. I'm excited for it. I guess it's about time. We got another Marvel Studios feature film. Need to make it to the I don't know what. The last movies that I wanted to go see at the movie theater. I was like, oh, I can't remember what movie it was when we went to go see last, and I was like, oh damn, I want to go see these movies. Well, the next week they weren't on. They every single movie I wanted to go see was gone. But like the week before, every movie that was on at the theater, I'm like, dude, I gotta go see this. I gotta go see this one. I gotta go see this one. And then the next week they were all gone. I'm like, oh man, damn. Felt like I let them down. Of course, been kind of injured and everything, and have been ready to be wasn't really able to go out either. That was part of it. Wasn't really able to go out either. But been doing better myself, as a matter of fact, when it comes to those kinds of things. I went to the physical therapist again for physical therapy on Monday, and I don't know, just every with each passing day, each passing week, of just feeling better and better. So that's a good thing on my road to road to recovery. But we're going to talk about some Marvel Studios, some MCU, just rumors and speculation. Guys, make sure you, if you are here, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share the stream out with your friends if you want to talk about this stuff. Guys, I just got done reading last night. I just got done reading this Thunderbolts trade paperback. I just got done reading this thing last night. This thing has like all their original appearances and even their first appearance, as well as a bunch of other tie-in stuff to the series. Thunderbolts issues number 0 through 33, which 0 came much later in this book. It wasn't like in the sequential. It was like, I don't know, issue 0 is probably like here towards the back of the book. Which, I don't know, sometimes issue 0s are weird. Sometimes they'll be at the beginning of a series. Sometimes they will be kind of like this one in the middle of it. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just a story they wanted to tell in there somewhere that wasn't quite an annual, but I don't know. Because if I remember right, the issue 0 in here was just kind of telling a kind of a retelling of all the stuff that had kind of previously happened up to that point in this story. But this book is really, really excellent. If you haven't ever read the original Kurt Busiek, Mark Bagley run of the Thunderbolts, I encourage you to go do it. If you can find those single issues out there, go buy them up. Especially if you can find what is it, the Incredible Hulk number 449. I know that one's kind of going up a little bit in value with the Thunderbolts being speculated to be coming into the Marvel Cinematic Universe soon, and I don't see why they wouldn't. Let me know about down in the comments below if you know anything about the Thunderbolts and what you think about the Thunderbolts. Do you think they're going to be coming in the MCU pretty soon? Rumors are they're going to be actually making possibly an announcement soon regarding the Thunderbolts. What version of the Thunderbolts? I don't know, but I know the Thunderbolts that I think would be the best, which is this, the comics, the original comics, the original comics that we've got here. The Thunderbolts were formed. The Thunderbolts were formed by Baron Zemo. 13th. Baron Zemo the 13th. Helmet. Zemo. His father was Heinrich. We learn throughout this story about how he learned things from his father to take control of the army, to run the army, how to become a supreme ruler. And he was going to take stuff over. He came up with this plan to take over the world by gaining access to their intelligence and to all the intelligence and everything that S.H.I.E.L.D. had, and also all of the files that the Avengers had as well. They wanted access to all the governments of the world so they could take it over. That's what Baron Zemo's plan was. His plan to do that was to take a little team of villains and turn them into heroes, or at least pose as heroes. Along the way, they took on a young apprentice who they had saved, who was being experimented on. She was being experimented on by these people. You know who she was experimented on? By? Who she was experimented by? By? You know what I'm saying. You know who she was experimented by on? The great Dr. Arnim Zola. Hail Hydra. That's right. This was Halle Takahama. She went on to become a hero known as Jolt, who joined the Thunderbolts. She was I believe she was 15 years old. She was a teenager. She joined this merry band of heroes, villains, would-be heroes, to pose as heroes, to gain access. But she didn't know all that. She was living a lie. They took her in. They were lying to her the whole time, every single one of them. It's pretty messed up, kind of, if you think about it, the story going on here. She was being deceived by the whole team, and then it came out. That they were, in fact, the masters of evil, and they were just trying to get access to all of the governments of the world's files and everything like that so they could take over the world. And Baron Zemo made a move to do exactly that, but not after. They posed as heroes for a long time, taking on the new masters of evil led by Crimson Cowl. Took on the Mad Thinker. Took on Graviton. They even took on what was it, the Rat Pack, and the oh man, why am I all of a sudden forgetting the Wrecking Crew? Took on a bunch of different foes posed as superheroes. And I gotta tell you, this story is absolutely great. I could see this story happening in the MCU, and I really would prefer, and this is the only series that I've read of the Thunderbolts. Well, I mean, you know what, I'm lying when I say that. I actually read some Thunderbolts stories back around the time of the Assault on Pleasant Hill, which is the Avengers standoff, the Assault on Pleasant Hill, on through Civil War 2, and on through Secret Empire. There was a bunch of books they put out at that time, like a bunch of books that were all tying into it, and Thunderbolts was some of them, some of those books. And I did read some of those books. It was a different team of Thunderbolts, and I think it was a little bit different. Where, like, I seen one of them, like, it seemed like a little more Suicide Squad style, where they were being were these villains, or these villains or anti-heroes were being used to go out there and fight for good and fight for justice and everything. Is kind of what it seemed like. I haven't read them, no, I haven't read them, but that's what it seemed like. It seemed like more of a team of vigilantes or anti-heroes going out there and kind of just kind of being doing hero shit, basically. Where I mean, that's all fine and dandy, but I mean, there's plenty of other properties that fit that bill. Where here in the Thunderbolts was done by Baron Zemo to deceive. They were bad guys trying to be good guys just to get intelligence and things like that, to get access to all the things, all the governments of the world, all the arsenal at their disposal. And it was really good, and it was really great. And the reason it was so good and so great is because all the guys here who are the villains that were working with Baron Zemo, they kind of started buying into it themselves. They were started getting into the roles. You can see people started, falling in love. People started enjoying the feeling of being heroes and not villains. And just everything that kind of goes into a lot of that. There's one of the Thunderbolts is actually a villain named oh dang it, a villain named Moonstone, Dr. Carla Sofin, and she is like a psychiatrist. And so throughout the whole series, you see her kind of evaluating everybody, seeing what's going on here. And towards the beginning, it's very interesting. And then as it progresses, even more so, as you see some of her own ambitions start to come out even more and more. And then next thing you know, after they do end up getting revealed, Hawkeye steps in to take over the team and see if they're really willing to become and ready to be heroes. He himself comes in to lead the Thunderbolts. And that's where it gets more into the redemptive arc stuff, kind of stuff where they're still villains. They just have a good guy backing them up. Still a little bit different than like Suicide Squad style, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I could be wrong. Yeah. Yep. So let's get into the live chats and see what you guys think about the Thunderbolts. Like I said, that's just kind of a brief introduction to the Thunderbolts. And it was really cool, especially when Hawkeye took over too. Because part of it, he's like, hey, are you guys really being legit here? At that part, the team had kind of disbanded a little. And a lot of that came because the team started to actually, they deceived. Well, they went against the direct order of Baron Zemo, and they went into a situation to be heroic when he said that he didn't want to do it. And he was upset by that, and that's kind of basically when he let all the cards be revealed. Then eventually Hawkeye comes and takes over the team as well. And I don't know, it's just very good stuff, and I could see where they could make a lot of this work in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it's a shame. It's honestly a shame that we haven't gotten this sooner, because it would have been the perfect time. And who knows, they could actually, the way everything's been going, they could actually do a Thunderbolts show if they're doing it on Disney Plus and make it fit in the time frame that they needed to or could have, although maybe not led by Baron Zemo, which that's a whole other story, because that really does change up the team. But it's perfect because here in the story, the Thunderbolts starts after the onslaught, after the onslaught invasion, and basically all of the heroes have been killed, and that's where this story starts off. The Fantastic Four, all of the Avengers as well, and the Avengers being, I mean, all the ones that were killed were Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, the Fantastic Four, Giant Man, the Wasp. Basically, if you think about it, it's all of the heroes that we've kind of essentially lost in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, I guess Thor's still there and Captain America's there, all old and shit. But you know what I mean? Like, in this time is when they came in after the Onslaught invasion, and they came in to be heroes and deceived everybody after getting the goodwill of the public and even the governments of the world. And like, it would be a perfect time right after, you know, like those 5 years during the blip, right? Would have been perfect. And who knows? For all we know, maybe that happened. Maybe that happened. Who knows? We don't know. Do we know anything about those 5 years that happened? We don't. Do we? Anyway, let's get here into the chat, see what everybody's talking about. I see we've got a $4 super chat from a man, Lord Veedo, my man, one of the immortal Myrtle Maniacs. Smash that like button, guys. Okay, he left this super sticker. What is a little? Is that a hippopotamus, or what is it? What is that? That's funny. Thank you so much, Lord Veedo, with the $4 super sticker. Greatly appreciate that. We've also got a man, Mike, licensed show Porter, with a $2 super sticker. Says, cool, dude. Yeah. Nice. Thank you all so much for being here. Let's see who all we've got here. We've got Aaron from Strange Marvel Theories. Guys, go check out Strange Marvel Theories. Says, well, it's go time. Says, Marvel nerds are used to the same characters from the past 10 years. These characters and stories for Eternals is brand new, unfamiliar territory, so Marvel fans are reluctant. You know, for me, one of the things I truly believe this is, you know, going into this kind of phase 4 is they're basically rebuilding. You know what I mean? You know when a football team, you know, like they have to go out there and rebuild, like they're like not doing very good. Well, in this case, you have like maybe the teams who's been going out there winning the Super Bowls year after years, and maybe they lost a certain coach, or maybe they lost a certain player. Certain players retired and everything, and maybe it's just time for a rebuilding. Maybe they lost their coach. You know, maybe they lost their coach. It's really hard to say, but they go into a rebuilding phase, and that's kind of where they're at. After all the successes that they have had in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I feel like they reached a certain peak, and there is no hitting that point again anytime soon. You gotta start back at ground level, you know, but they're not at ground level. They're at they basically built the foundations and got the first level built, and now they're basically, after 3 phases, I would say they're on level 2. It's time for them to build upon the successes that they've had of the first story, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's time to take it that next step. And I believe this is probably, through this phase 4, this is probably where they are doing all this process to lay the foundations for the future, more of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, having to introduce new characters and new stories for people to get into and for people to get engaged in. We know that we've also heard things going on in this story as well, where everybody's gonna see themselves represented. Feel however you want about that, but the point being is they are opening the door to more of these characters, and we know it's all coming. They're all gonna come. All these different characters flooding into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Obviously, there is talk that we're going to be getting a lot of the characters from the Marvel entertainment side of things. The what god was that? It wasn't the Marvel Studios stuff. I believe it was just Marvel Entertainment, where they did a lot of the TV stuff over on the Netflix. A lot of those characters are going to be coming over, supposedly. We don't know that for sure yet, but with so many people talking about it, and there's so much talk about it, there comes a point where, can it really be denied? Can it really be denied? I don't know, man. I don't know. It sure seems like there's a lot of talk of Charlie Cox coming back. Jessica Jones. Wasn't there rumors that Jessica Jones was going to come back too? Which I think would be great. Yeah, there's just some of these different rumors. And I don't know. I mean, because to me, you know, like, I'm okay with recasting. Okay, I'm okay with them reusing his a lot of these characters as well. But let me know how you guys think about it down in the comments below. But I do think that's where Marvel Studios is at, where they're kind of having to start back again and build another base level and move on and build upon these new characters, because obviously all of these characters aren't going to all be around forever. Could they talk Robert Downey Jr. into coming back for a movie or two here in a handful of years to do some sort of big cameo? Absolutely, I think so. We got my man Lord Veedo in the building. Daniel Fisher in the building as well. We got my man Mike License to Show Porter. Who else we got here? Aaron from Stranger Marvel Theories says, it fascinates me that speculation and rumor of upcoming projects such as movies increases the value of comics and vice versa. Yeah, definitely. Especially if you can get like ahead of the curve on some of the comic stuff. Like I'm telling you, from what I've noticed, and I could be wrong with some of this, is I feel like a lot of stuff that we got so far through this Phase 4 stuff, like with the WandaVision stuff, even with like some of the stuff we learned in Loki, and kind of what we're getting ready to get into with some of these different things like the Darkhold, Immortus, and things like that. I'm telling you, West Coast Avengers, baby. I think you get into some of that West Coast Avengers stuff. I think that's kind of where we're going. I bought. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for me to get into these. I've got volumes 1 and 4 here of the West Coast Avengers, which is How the West Was Won is one of the titles, and the other one is Vision Quest. So I've got those, and yeah, maybe I need to get into these soon. It's kind of difficult getting into when you get into reading something like one of these big old thick omnibuses, which I've got several here that I've still got to read. I've got the ones I haven't read yet is I've got the Black Widow Strikes, which is a lot of the Black Widow original appearances on through some of her first series and things like that, Marvel Presents and all that. Also the Captain America, the Ed Brubaker run, I think it's like the first 50 issues, and then there's even, I think there's like a couple of one-shots or something in there as well. I got the Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War omnibuses too. They're big old thickies like that. It's got a lot of the tie-ins and everything that kind of leading up to these events and after the events as well. Although I've got to say, it's weird. The Infinity War one don't have the Infinity Watch issues 1 through 6. I think it's got 6 through something, whatever. Like, I might have to go out and try to find some of the other books, or see if, I'm not sure if they're having another omnibus or something where maybe they're gonna have those stories in. I don't know. I'll have to look at that up. And then I've also got Squadron Supreme, little omnibus. I think that one's only like 25, 30 issues. And then All New Wolverine that I haven't read. Oh yeah, I forgot Captain Marvel also. The original Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel. It's the original Ms. Marvel run, actually, is what the omnibus is, and I wanted to do some research on that as well. It's the original run, and the most of it, like the first 3 issues, were done by Jerry Conway, and I think the next however many issues or whatever, like almost 20 issues, were done by Chris Claremont, who's touted to be one of the best writers of the X-Men that there ever was. So that's one of the things that kind of interested me in that. Certainly. That wasn't too crazy with the bakers. Yeah, right? Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, and I see Lord Veedo checking the Myrtle bit. Speaking of which, man, I've been really busy with a lot of stuff. Like the doctor's appointments and everything have been absolutely nuts. Kind of just getting crazy with all that kinds of stuff, and then getting ready to go back to work and everything. But I've got to get through for the giveaways that we've got to do on some of the comic books that we've got to do giveaways on. I meant to do that last Friday, and it's been busy, man. Let's see. did I see that we got Lord Veedo with 2 more super chats, a $2 super sticker, showing some love, and throwing the horns with another $3 super sticker. Thank you so much, Lord Veedo, my man. Thank you so much for your generosity. You know, one of the things I was thinking that I need to, you know, we're gonna have to set some fundraising goals. Some fundraising goals here. That's what I was thinking about. And but also I've got a lot of stuff here that I've got ready to getting ready to do here for the Lord Veedo will like this, for the Immortal Maniacs, where we're going to go through and start reading on stream a lot of the crowdfunded comic books that we have backed. And we're going to do some Lady Death even. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. There's things will get better. Yeah. Can't rain all the time. Oh man, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? We talking about the Crow here? What are we talking about? This is Veedo. Is he a little dramatic about Zemo and the Masters of Evil? Who? What? No, I like Zemo. The Masters of Evil. Yeah, the Crimson Cowl. Yep. Maybe this weed is just fire. Yeah, I'm sure it is. It's raining all over the world tonight. ELO Showdown. What? You've seen me now, I'm the champion. Basically, it was an onslaught. Yeah, basically. Yeah. Yep. Okay, sometimes you are rebuilding, and sometimes you're a lifelong fan of the World Series champions Atlanta Braves. It's so surreal. I feel like a champion, and I'm seeing the Eternals tonight. All right, Mike Porter, my man. Yeah, spamming the chats. Yeah. Tyler Cordalis, thank you so much for being here. Guys, go check out Tyler's channel. You can see his name down there. Figure out how to spell it. Go search him up. Tyler Cordalis in the building. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I love Lady Death. Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that we've got, one of the things that's been we kind of see here, speaking of the Eternals, getting ready to come out, something we even kind of seen like in Loki, and just other stuff we've seen out there, is one of the things I've talked about for a while is I feel like the Infinity Stones, right? I feel like the Infinity Stones are basically, they're just these, obviously when we've seen that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that's what they've kind of been explained as, is this Big Bang happened, and these elements were forged into these stones, the Infinity Stones, right? Now we even see from everywhere in all these films, like if you think back to even like the first Avenger, when we meet Red Skull, and he's talking about the Tesseract, and it's like it's the power of the gods, you know, that is basically what it is. And that's kind of what we see going on here as well when you see a lot of these things, even when you get into when we first see the Celestials explained in Guardians of the Galaxy, when they're going after the Power Stone and all of those different kinds of things, when you get into like more of those cosmic stories where where the Celestials are involved. And here obviously we've got the Eternals getting ready to come out tonight, and I think obviously it seems like this lore is going back even further into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And again, one of the things I think is important to note is like the Infinity Stones themselves is one of the things I've talked about, is that they are just kind of this power. These powers concentrated, and you can use them and harness them to basically create new things, technologies, and stuff like that. I truly believe that kind of what happened maybe in Wakanda was like, maybe it was like the Power Stone or you know, like that when the Big Bang happened, that actually maybe landed on Earth and or was, you know, part of that asteroid maybe it landed on Earth in Wakanda and actually enriched the soil, created the obviously the purple herb. And I actually kind of believe that the purple herb, like I believe when Dr. Erskine made his formula, I think he had his hands on some of that. You know what I mean? I think he had his hands on some of that when he created the super soldier serum, because I think it's basically the same thing that they do in Wakanda when they have a new a new Black Panther. So it's very interesting. I think, and then obviously we see that early on in the MCU, basically on Earth, the first people that we actually see on Earth harnessing the power of the Infinity Stones is the great Dr. Arnim Zola, when he takes the Tesseract and recreates and uses it to create an endless supply of power. They use it to create a bunch of weapons and just basically use it to power all of their technology and things like that. And then later we see that Tony Stark goes and appropriates all his data and recreates the work of the great Dr. Arnim Zola later in Iron Man 2. He goes and recreates that work that Dr. Arnim Zola did. Now, he got this technology from his father, because his father was researching it after he got it from Captain America, who lifted it from a Hydra base. So essentially what you kind of see is them using all of these stones, this power of these Infinity Stones, to do different things, technology, create technology, and different things based all around that. I believe that that's kind of where the vibranium comes from as well. I believe when it enriched the soil, it created the vibranium there in Wakanda as well. But I believe all of these powers, the powers of all these things, can be recreated as well. I believe it can, and that comes through with being able to harness technology and things like that, and then take all of these powers and utilize them in good or evil ways. Obviously, if you're just taking and manipulating power, that's kind of what you've got going on here in throughout these stories, where we see they're taking all the power and using it and harnessing these stones to create something new or to manipulate certain things. And that's certainly what you see happen when Thanos uses the Infinity Gauntlet. He has all the power stones there and has a piece of technology that allows him to use all of these different things, these elements, to change the universe in a snap to what he wants them to be. So essentially, that's kind of what we're talking about here. Is kind of essentially, and they were even talking about in WandaVision about the cosmic microwave background radiation. I know my man Mike, licensed to shill Porter, used to flap his gums on end about this stuff, right? And I think it's true because, when we're talking about the Big Bang and how it created the Infinity Stones and things like that, that's exactly what we're talking about, is all these powers just basically being concentrated, and they're able to be used and utilized in different ways to create different technologies. You go back and you watch Loki. Think about what they used in Loki. You seen where the basic Jonathan Majors character, Kang, basically, if you will, Nathaniel Richards. Should we just call him that? Should we just? We see that he has like his little bracelet thing that he uses to create and tell his little story. It looks all like a little bunch of pewter things and everything, all of the little technology he uses. But he also used that to open his gateways and his portals and things like that. This technology, right? We also see just different people using technology in different ways to do different things. And I think that's ultimately what we're talking about here, and that's why everybody wants these stones so bad, is because the technology that you can use and create. Also, we can see even like the Mind Stone, and even what they did with that when it was in Loki's scepter, how they used that to get everybody to kind of work for that singular purpose when they were trying to open that gateway to get to Earth in the first Avengers movie. So essentially what we're talking about here is science and technology. Magic. Right? We see it we see all these things collide if you watch like the first Thor movie. They make kind of a big deal about this, about basically magic, science. You see Dr. Eric Selvig. It's like, oh, like this is crazy. This guy's talking about Thor. He's talking about the Bifrost Bridge and everything. He's like, these are folk stories, folk tales, right? Folk tales. But then you actually see that a lot of it is true. And I feel like what's kind of going on here with all of these things, where you see like Thor, you kind of see folk tales kind of coming to life, and they're actually real. It's not like Thor is actually real. The Bifrost Bridge is real. You know, all of these things, this were the science and the technology and all these things, kind of science fiction, even, you know, all these things kind of coming true. So it makes you start to think, you know, even when you get into like we got like the Morbius movie coming up, and I'm not saying that's tied into the MCU, but you know, we're getting Blade getting ready to come out, and some of those different stories coming in with like the vampires and stuff like that, where essentially we're talking about folklore actually being true. And this is very interesting when you get into like the Lovecraftian lore and stuff like that. These kind of folklore tales, a lot of like the werewolves, and I don't know that vampires are necessarily Lovecraftian, but I know like werewolves, and then you get into like all the squid monsters and all of that stuff that we're definitely dealing with in the MCU. Very interesting stuff, especially when you consider that Hydra is what a lot of the bad guys are kind of how would you say, kind of worshiping here, is Hydra. And you can see that the Hydra beast is a tentacled monster, no different than any of the kind of type of Lovecraftian characters that we got going on. We also see like in the Shang-Chi movie where it was calling out to Shang-Chi's father, right? To get him to come through. We also seen in different what was the other one? Was it in Doctor Strange? Just like all the just the people calling to them from beyond to go through, basically to unleash this beast. If you go watch the movie In the Mouth of Madness, it was great, but like, you know, it's a kind of, you know, we got Doctor Strange getting ready to come out. They're, you know, I'm not saying it's going to be like that, but what happened is you got this living beast on the other side that is trying to get into the real world by making people basically believe it and it come true. And this is something that actually comes down to the Darkhold. The Darkhold being this thing, because you know what's belief is a powerful thing, and the Darkhold was kind of all these kind of forbidden texts and everything that were basically all written, these incantations and everything that also kind of let this beast live on, so somebody can take in these powers and be able to use this dark magic. So it's very interesting thinking about a lot of these things. I mean, especially considering we even seen about like the Darkhold and everything in the WandaVision series as well. And before somebody comes in here and asks, well, if how is Agatha Harkness able to fly when she's sitting there battling Scarlet Witch after she puts up the runes inside of the town, around the whole town? Well, maybe she's not flying through her magic. Maybe she's just able to fly. I'm just saying. Maybe she has a jetpack. I don't know. But the point being is we've kind of got this intermerging of technology, science and technology, and even like folk tales and everything coming through here as well. And then we get into the Eternals. We're seeing even more lore. Like, even you remember the trailer for Eternals? How the one kid comes out to what's his name? Is it? It's not Icarus, is it? No, not Icarus. What's his name? The Superman guy. He's like, oh yeah, with the lasers and the capes. It's funny. Even my son said that too. My kids were like, isn't that just basically Superman? Where he came out and he, the guy's like, oh, I don't have a cape. But maybe that's where the kid's thinking of, that's where they got the idea for Superman, was from this guy right here. Again, going down to folklores and tales. You even see in the Eternals movie where they're sitting there like, what's her name? I can't remember. I'm not sure what her character's name is. Angelina Jolie's character, where she's sitting there fighting and she starts forming all of her weapons, these like little like crazy gold weapon kind of thingies. You also see that what's his name, Phastos, where you see him doing kind of the same thing, kind of the similar thing that we've seen Jonathan Majors doing in the Loki series. Ultimately, what we've got here is a lot of things being created through these different powers of basically not even just the time stones, but the power that is that's concentrated within the Infinity Stones themselves, which I believe were basically formed by that cosmic background microwave radiation. Okay, sorry. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Should check the official Batman synopsis that was released just now. I wonder what would happen if I rolled that. Wakanda in the blunt, right? That's funny. Check out the... Okay, I'll do that. You still have to talk about the sham. Yeah, absolutely. Your ancestors called it magic, but if you call it science, I come from land where they are one and the same. My man Mike Porter knows the quote. That's right. Absolutely. That sounds fire. Wakanda perps. Yeah. You've never had the Wakanda perps? Yeah, purple. I would crossbreed Wakanda perp with our sour diesel. Woo! You gotta do it with some of them OGs, man. So I posted the quote. Yeah. That's all real. Everything. All of it. Yeah. I want to watch The Force Awakens. Yeah, there you go. Don't watch it. It's trash. You know what? I actually like The Force Awakens. I liked that one. It was like the start of something that could have been great. Veedo, there's one day for all Kennedy Productions, but also he is mad. Brian K, thank you so much for being here, aggressively relaxing, my man. Thank you so much for being here. I seen you dropped a new video this morning. I have a jetpack. I guess I'm flying. There you go. This video has just enriched your life with wonderful films for decades, but you want to cosplay. Which of her productions are you most excited for, Obi-Wan or Boba? He says none. Don't you lie, you son of a... Anyway, guys, I've got to get ready to go. So you know what? Like, I would have streamed earlier, but I thought I would have started the stream earlier. But I thought I had an appointment, a doctor's appointment this morning. It turns out it's tomorrow morning, and it's just a phone. It's just a phone visit. I thought, like, I got all ready and everything, and I thought I had to go to the doctor, and I called him like, hey, checked my reminder and everything, and I was thinking today was the 5th, not the 4th, and I don't know. It was just the Eternals thing, because it's supposed to come out the 5th. Maybe that's what it was, and it's today's, maybe that's what it was. Damn it, I don't know. But I thought I had an appointment. Oh man, yeah, I had hope too, but not anymore. Yeah, maybe Obi-Wan. That's funny. All right, guys. But yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff coming out in the MCU. It seems like they've been making a lot of announcements. Big things coming up. I know we got the Hawkeye series getting ready to come up very soon, in a few weeks. Hawkeye series getting ready to premiere. What about that Boba Fett trailer, man? Did you guys see that? Did you see this? Did you like this? Are you hyped for it? What'd you think? I thought it looked pretty good. Yeah, Tamara Morrison coming in, kicking ass. Yeah. I'm not the biggest Boba Fett fan either. Like I like Din Djarin. He's pretty cool. The Mandalorian, he's pretty cool. But I'm not like a big, Boba Fett fan. Like, he's alright. I'm an R2-D2 fan. Yeah, I'm an R2-D2 stan. Yeah. Absolutely. But anyway, guys, I think that's really all I've got for today. I'm going to, like I said, get started in this one of these next trade paper or omnibuses I've got. I actually got some trade paperbacks I need to read through as well. He says Boba Fett, yay! Or is that the? I know that was the yay. Right? Yeah. Yeah, Mando's pretty badass. Yeah, I like Mando. Yeah. I mean, Boba Fett, he flew his ass right into a. He flew his ass right into a. He's like, hey, let me fly over here. Oh no. Yeah. But anyway, guys, yeah, thank you all so much for being here today. Let me know what you guys think about this theories speculation. Like I said, Thunderbolts, man. They need to do this. They need to do the OG Thunderbolts, too. They need to do this OG Thunderbolt stuff. It's good stuff. It's absolutely great stuff. But anyway, I also, before departing, I've also got to let you guys know that, you know what? Remember back on Infinity War? Remember back when Infinity War came out? Everybody was blaming it on Peter Quill. It wasn't Peter Quill's fault. It was Gamora.